amazement and awe that I want to...
3, 2, 1! The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum is officially open!
We did it. We did it. We did it. Tell the world, we did it. The heart of rock and roll is beaten in Cleveland.
On Friday, Saturday I go out to play.
All around the house that rock built is swaying, to put it gently. The stars almost line up one after another. You know who this is? Remember Martha Reeves and the Vandellas?
Girl, this is fantastic. History is being made, and rock and roll now has a home. It's wonderful.
Hey, there's Paul Schaefer from the Dave Letterman Show. And any Beatle fan knows who this is. Yoko Ono, John Lennon's wife. And also on the star lineup is radio personality Casey Kasem.
Rock and roll that was supposed to only last a few years and was supposed to be a flash in the pan, but here it is 40 years later, and on the birthday of rock and roll we have this wonderful museum.
Remember these two guys? Carl Gardner with the Coasters and Bill Pigmy, one of the Drifters.
I'm very well pleased, and it's great to lay a legacy somewhere, and it's there forever.
Look who else is star walking around. Cleveland Blues legend Robert Lockwood Jr. And also on hand to greet the fans is rock and blues singer Benny King. And how's this for a star search closer? We just happened to bump into this rock and roll star, Little Richard. He told me he's glad the Rock Hall of Fame is in Cleveland.
And I think it's great. I think it's something that is overdue and it's timely. I'm glad to be alive to see it.
A Cleveland disc jockey from the early 1950s took what was called race music and is credited with coining the words rock and roll.
We're really going to rock and roll. This is yours truly, Alan Freed, the old king of the rock and rollers.
It was Freed's radio programs and concerts which allowed black entertainers to make their mark in a white market.
Baby, baby, how I want you.
In early 1986, Cleveland battled 7 other cities who also wanted the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. Cleveland won the honor and planned a $19 million rock and roll museum along the Cuyahoga River behind Tower City. In late 1990, the site was changed to North Coast Harbor to allow for expansion and more exhibit space. The tower would come off land and be placed in water, thanks to architect I.M. Pei. The cost went to $48 million, with corporate sponsorships to provide half the total cost.
We want them to be associated with the world-class association of what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is all about. So that it's not like we're going to have a huge number. We're going to go after a select few in terms of major dollars for that program.
Thompson left and Michael Benz became the new executive director, but groundbreaking kept being delayed because corporate sponsorships were proving elusive.
I feel that in the next 3 weeks to a month, it may be a little longer, it may be a little shorter, that we'll have 1 or 2 in our pockets ready to go.
Pei gave a redesign to the museum. The cost zoomed to $66 million, and Pei promised the view of Lake Erie would not be blocked.
And we feel that because it's a glass tent, and because the inside, it always will be bright, by day and by night, that you'll be able to always see in and see people moving in and out.
The design would certainly be a one-of-a-kind. Finally, some corporate sponsorships came in. An admissions tax was added, plus the county bed tax was increased to help pay for the cost, and a groundbreaking would be held at the harbor in April 1993. It was finally underway, 7 years after we first talked about it, and the cost would now be $92 million because interior exhibits would have more video and more hands-on displays. The tent became a reality.